Hey guys, it's Grant Balfour here, ex-pitcher of the Tampa Bay Rays, Oakland Athletics, Minnesota Twins, Milwaukee Brewers, Cincinnati Reds. I just wanted to say you're watching Matty C's Sports for You and Me podcast. Enjoy the show. Matty's got a lot of great things to talk about, wide range of sports. Get on there. Hope to see you guys soon on the show. All right, guys. Take care.
On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch.
Coming in at 320 kilobytes per second, it's time for Matty C's Sports for You and Me.
All right, Matty C Sports for You and Me. Got a special guest. I always have special guests, but this is coming from the South. Now you out here in Texas, right?
No, not anymore, man. I used to. So like, what wound up happening is I was with Team 515 in East Texas. Now I am in Kansas City, Missouri. I live in Kansas City, Missouri, and I trained in Lee Summit with James Krause and the Glory crew. The Glory.
All right. So basically, I want to say we have Brant Killer B Moore Jr. He's got a pretty dope record right now, 9-1, and heard a lot. So I see you wearing that sweatshirt, and I think it's gonna be a good reason pretty soon. I hear. So, how you feeling about different articles, different things saying how two or more fights or this one coming up might be your golden ticket into UFC?
Man, so the way I used to look at it, I used to be like, almost like in a rush, like be all like, gotta get there. But then, what it wound up turning into is like, instead of me thinking about like, I like I say in other interviews, I think about a lot less these days, like what is in next and what's right there in front of me. Like, so right now, like in order would be like this dieting down, making sure I get my water right, and then cutting the weight, making the weight, whooping Estrázulas' ass, and then chilling for a little bit, getting the next call, whatever the next call is. Those are the things I'm like thinking about more these days. So like as far as the UFC, like all my homeboys are going to the UFC. We're all out of the same gym. We're all training at the same gym. Everybody gets there when they should, if you will. And I feel like it's gonna go the same for me, getting there when I should. Whether that be my next fight, 2 fights from now, whenever. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me as much anymore. It's not something that weighs or I think about as much. I think about now mainly improving, because going from 515 to going to Glory, I got a lot of different looks and a lot of different training partners that are in my weight class, and James Krause being my coach. I'm getting my ass beat a lot in the gym, like to the point where I think less about my opponents and like doing stuff like how to put Grant in a headlock, and little things like that, trying to improve as a fighter and less improve as a fighter, improve as a showman, and less about promotions and different things like that. I'm almost like trying to become more valuable of an asset, or how do I put it? I'm kind of rambling at this point, but instead of looking to become a part of the UFC, you know what I'm saying? I want to be something that the UFC wants to be a part of. You get what I'm saying? Want the Killer B wave on like in the UFC, not somewhere else, as opposed to me like, you know, just out here fighting and whatever else, and like, you know, being like, man, I'm gonna get to the UFC one day, and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
I mean,
would you be biased to going to like Bellator or PFL or any of those if they call your name?
It would all depend on the deal, the matchups. Mainly, really the deal. It's less about the matchups because, you know, I'll fuck anybody up. But it's more about deals and different things like that. As far as like goals and where my goals line up, I want to be in the UFC. You know, because that's where you leave a crazy legacy. You know, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to leave a dope legacy. So I'm shooting for the UFC, but you know, if things in my life or things mentally for me change to where I want to think less about legacy and more about something else, I might go somewhere else. You know, I'm not opposed to fighting in any of those promotions for sure. I just, you know, UFC is like what I got my eyes on for sure.
Yeah, and I mean the division you're in is pretty tough. I mean, you got some big names in that weight. Well, you should say you're popping and you're ready to go the length at it.
Yeah. 55 is crazy. It's crazy shit. All sorts of people.
I mean, is there a certain fighter that you can be compatible with, or is that too much into the future?
Man, like compatible with, like, can you give me like more of a elaborate way of like you mean like who I'm closer fight style style?
Yeah, like who do you match up with the similar fight style?
Similar fight style, man. I'm kind of a weird dude. I don't think I'm not like the way my fighting used to be, right? It used to be a lot more grappling heavy. It's probably gonna be more striking heavy now. I really don't have a guy to where I really don't have a guy I could think of that I mean, James becoming more Kraus like, you know what I'm saying, getting my Kraus jitsu tight, you know, and getting my wrestling super slick under Jason Hine, getting my hands right under Austin Ford, you know. I'm gonna be. People are gonna start comparing themselves to me, you know. Like I'm gonna be its own thing, you know. But I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a weirdo.
Are you flying? Are you gonna make somebody return? You know, from Dublin, to have somebody the Notorious come out of retirement to fight you?
Oh, you never know, man. You don't never know with McGregor. McGregor might kick in my door if I get too famous. You know? Wow, what's up? Yeah. No, you never know. I gotta get my hype up. Gotta get my fame up. You know, gotta beat somebody. Gotta beat some people's ass down a little bit. Get my train rolling. Those types of things. You know, I love as far as interviews go, being a showman and whatever else, and you know, talking my fair share of shit. But I also know that I got to pay my dues and put my dues in. You know, 9-1's a great record, but it's only like the beginning as far as like an entire career. You know what I mean? Like 9-1's a great start, and I got whatever the fuck N1 to be by the end of my lifetime. You know? So.
Yeah, and I saw your fight with Brendan Longano, and I was like, it was mine. I was just like, wow, that talk about quick. You know what I mean? Like,
that Longano is one of my funniest fights, right? Mentally, because that was one of the fights where my coaches were always telling me you gotta pull the trigger a little bit faster. And man, if there's any fight that I should have pulled the trigger on faster, it was definitely that fight. Like I could have a 3-second knockout on my record if I would have just pulled the trigger on Brandon, because I threw a right hand right out the gate that like kind of stunned him, and I had 0% heat on there. It was like it was mayonnaise level heat, you know. I should have put some spice on that, man.
I like the mayonnaise level. That's great. I haven't heard that one, so that's a Matty C Sports first. So I like that. So I mean, you've come out and you've taken out some guys that are like, you know, Ago and now you got and Giannetti, yeah. That those two are big ones, and I think those are the ones that like people started paying attention in my eyes. But you know, I'm just an outside looking in. I mean, do you feel like you got more like with Arthur coming up? Like, how do you feel about him? Like, what's your take on how his style and basically what you're preparing for?
Man, what I'm preparing for is just a hard fight. Arthur is Arthur's just a tough guy. Well, right up the dryer. Still a regular guy.
Okay, it's okay. So are you folding clothes live?
No. It's probably in a minute. but what it is what it is. As far as Arthur, I'm preparing for a tough fight. As far I don't know about personality, but I will say fight wise, like fight the way he shows himself in fights, he's a tough guy. He likes to come forward. He likes to bang a little bit, you know. He's no bitch, and you know, I don't think he'll be out here trying to play a pity pat point game. I think he'll be trying to knock my head smooth off, and you know, I'm a big fan of that. I like that. I'm baseline, you know, like I'm a counter striker, so it plays more in my favor if he does try to fight me that way. But that was my thumb.
But don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I have my arms cut off right here, so
yeah. He's hard. He's tough. He comes forward. He doesn't back down. Very Thai style. Solid grappler. He's a veteran of the game. You know, he's put some booze in. You know, I definitely haven't fought anybody as seasoned as him. You know, even Giannetti, being on the Ultimate Fighter and whatever, that's awesome. But that's awesome, and I'm glad I fought him and all that stuff. But Arthur Estrázulas is like, you know, fought in PFL, Bellator, fought for Glory Kickboxing. You know, he's a dangerous guy. He's got some, got some serious shit behind him. You know, so I need to be on my P's and Q's. Need to pull out everything I done learned.
Yes, sir. I mean,
but then again, you never know. I might go out there, weave one jab, and uppercut him, and he goes to sleep. You know, you never know. You never know.
Fight could be 25 minutes, or it could be 2 seconds.
Exactly.
You know, you just never know. And the fight style I see is like you're very quick, and you have a lot of agility, and like you're not stopping. You're just on the go. And I mean, it's impressive the way I saw how quick you are in the octagon. And you know, is that a lot of how should I say it, like your cardio? Are you working on that a lot too, along with your
yeah. So working on my cardio. But another thing I also do is also try to like what I've learned with Kraus is what I used to do when I used to fight was do a lot of like try to get in, one shot, one kill, get it, make it happen, and try to win the fight in that moment. But what I've learned from James is just, you know, you can try to do that, and if it works, it works, or you can just put numbers out, put volume out, and beat on them for as long as you got to beat on them till they quit, and and they'll fold. Like for me, I don't ever. It's one of those things where it's not like I feel like my cardio has ever been bad. I feel like I don't know how to pace myself at times. Which the more I've fought, the better I've gotten at that. And the more I've been training lately, I've been training more pick up, slow down, pick up, slow down, pick up, slow down. Like, you know, slow them down. Like, you know, make them pick themselves up, you know, like really mentally messing with people. So as far as cardio shouldn't be a problem. See what happens. We'll see. But would you never know? Might get in there, and that dude goes 90-0, and I got to go 90-0. Then we're both over here. After 30 seconds, like, you know what I'm saying? We both got to slug it out for like 30 seconds because he's just like, I gotta win now, and I'm like, I'm gonna win now, and then we're both stuck in win 45 seconds into a 15-minute fight, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Not coming back to round 3.
and that's the thing. Like, so with you with LFA, like how is it in that atmosphere and LFA? Are you like loyal to them or like have an allegiance with them? Like they help you, support you? Because I know some different organizations are kind of, you know, they're either shady or they, you know, not with you because you're really good at what you do, honestly. And, you know, with others that, like, you know, like you said, are journeymen, they just throw them in there to make them on the card. Yeah, and they give easy wins to people.
Right, LFA. So LFA is. I think Mark Berry always matches people up pretty good. You know, like he doesn't put together smash fights. I think he does. I think he shout out to him also. He does just a great job of that. As far as me and really anybody fighting in LFA, you know, I'm sure like there's not every fighter is easily like line upable with what he has versus, like, you know, sometimes it's like these two are just in the same vicinity and it's just one's gonna be better than the other just by the law of the land.
Just by a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like but I don't think they have like really smash fights or anything like that. You know, sometimes I think some people get promoted more than others, but also, you know, how are those people promoting themselves? You know, like sometimes I don't get like too much hype all the time, but I also don't be promoting myself all the time either. So because there are times where I'm just like, no, I'm gonna just fight, and then there are times where I'm trying to build a brand, you know, so I'm all over the place. But the people at LFA are doing awesome. They're holding it down as far as like loyalty and anything like that. You know, I don't have a contract with them, but I've spent my amateur career back when LFA was legacy. I spent a little bit of my amateur career in there, and I spent just about, almost half of my pro career in LFA. I debuted for LFA as a professional on like 4 days notice against AJ Nichols way back in the gap.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as far as what they're doing, how they're doing it, I think it's awesome. They're expanding to Brazil, which is cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet you Ed's like super excited about that, you know, and different things like that. So there's more competition. At the end of the day, hopefully what it'll turn into is, like, you know, more shows, more fights, more money for the promotion, meaning more money for the fighters. You know, hopefully like more money just for everybody, you know, and different levels of competition. Hopefully more people will get pushed through, or you never know, make it to where people could live a little bit more off of just fighting for LFA, if you will. But you never know. LFA as far as like, they don't hold people, you know. They don't. If the UFC calls you up, they'll let you go. If you want to go to Bellator, they'll let you go. As far as I know. I mean, damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the end all be all. I'm just Brant. Like, you know. I'm not an LFA representative on the legal side for sure. I'm just a fighter.
But I agree with what you're saying, though. You know, they promote some organizations in leagues and, you know, stuff like that. They promote more fighters than others, and it can be unfair, and it can be a blessing in disguise, because if you're the underdog and you win, then things are going to start to flip. Now you, it seems like you like really have your stuff under control. You're, like you said, you're taking it at your pace, instead of, you know, what reality is. And, you know, that's the thing with fighters that I've learned to realize, is that, like, some guys are injured and they fight just because they'll get on a big card and they don't take the time to heal or do anything. I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, have you had that situation happen to you, like different injury where you said, oh, I really don't want to take the risk?
Man, so there was I have had a time where, like let's take for example, so with the Fury card, the one Trey Ogden won, right? So originally I was gonna fight JJ O'Donovich. I didn't think that was a good fight for me to take. Also, there was a lot of other stuff going on with it, but I didn't think that was the fight for me. And Trey wound up getting it. Trey wound up going to the UFC. Super happy that it went out that way, because that was like, it played out for me from my point of view the best way it could have. Trey whooping that fool and going to the UFC off of it. Me, I'm fighting for LFA. I go out, whoop this fool. We're both in the UFC, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. What was I about to say? I was about to say, as far as taking injuries and different things like that, that was the only fight that I've ever had to. That's probably the only fight I've ever been like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think it's the right time or the right moment. There has been a fight like, specifically my fight with Nation Gibrick, right? I don't know what was wrong with my ankle exactly. Something, I don't know what was wrong medically speaking, but I got caught in a heel hook by Derek, probably a week and something prior. And it popped my ankle. It didn't mess my knee up or anything, but it popped my ankle to where it was like moderately unstable. And it also, something also happened to my like shin bone. So whenever like there would be times while I'm training and like really trying to understand the injury and can I not work around it, because I didn't want to be one of those dudes that like calls off and be all like, I can't do it, but I was having a hard time walking around. I was just like, I got this. What wound up happening was, I wound up taping it, but like sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit. If Nation had inside, like if he had like telekinesis or like an inside spy guy, in the gym in any way, if he would have just threw a calf kick to my backside leg, or been able to elbow or like throw some strike to my backside leg, he would have actually been able to win that fight because it was hurting very bad already before the fight even started.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's like if he could have known that, he would have been able to beat me just off the circumstance. It had nothing to do. Like I beat him, and I was able to work around that. But sometimes sometimes injuries you can fight around, some you can't. I know if say I'm hurt, like I got a messed up rib, and the UFC calls me, I'm going to the UFC. I'm signing that dotted line. If I got a fractured anything and if I got something that's fractured and fucked up and LFA is just like, hey, you got this fight short notice, I'm gonna say no,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I'm already in LFA, somebody else might say somebody else might want otherwise. I think it's dependent on the person and the person's mindset, what the injury is, a lot of variables, but I think you should treat your career the same way you treat your. I think people should do things like pick smart fights, for themselves. There are times where you can, if you're training all the time, push, fight whoever you want, whenever you want. What are your goals? If your goals are just to like make money and wherever else, you can fight every weekend if you want. If your goal is to like get to a certain spot, if your goal is to get to the NFL of our sport, which is the UFC, you need to make smart decisions. But if it's not, fuck it, do whatever you want. I think the answer to that question is results may vary, I guess. Long answer, short, results may vary.
Now with you, so when you first started, did you start out in Texas?
Yeah. Whole career until 6 months ago was in Texas. Yeah.
Was there a bad falling out or anything like that?
No. It's just where I was sitting at, I was needing to I was needing to branch out a little bit, because I've always lived in East Texas. That's kind of like, you to grow as a person, you gotta kind of get away from your home setting. and you also got to potentially you may have to get away from your own gym as well. We had at the time we had 2 UFC fighters in the gym, which is Derek and Kevin, but neither Derek's my teacher and Kevin's my friend, but neither Derek or Kevin are in my weight class,
Right,
so
right, yeah.
I don't have any UFC training partners, I just got like I really a lot of the guys that are at 515 or we're at 515 at the time, it's like I was the only 55er. It was Kevin 45er, Steve 70er, Ariel Juarez. Ariel fought at 55 for a little bit, but he was at 70. Derek 70. And it was just really just the 4 of us kind of like, going in, seeing each other, learning as much as we can. And I'm a big fan of cross training, but going back to the concept of growing and being uncomfortable and different things like that. So at Glory, there's 55ers out the wazoo. There's there's Grant Dawson. There's a lot of guys that aren't necessarily big yet that are going to be big, like Gage Young. Gage is going to be some serious shit. Let's see, David Onama's in the UFC now. He's not a 55er, he's a 45er, but me and him train a lot together. Let's see who else. Mike Breeden just fucking debuted in the UFC as well. There's guys, Trey Ogden hasn't debuted in the UFC, but he's a UFC caliber fighter. There's so many guys that are in my weight class, same skill level, different things, like we're all around the same skill level, like overall stats wise, like where like I maybe let's say I edge one out in grappling, he edges me out in striking, where that one edges me out in grappling, I might edge him out in wrestling or clenching or different things like
right.
that.
Yeah.
And above all, what I really needed coaching wise was a coach like James Krause, because if you watch James Krause's fighting style and my early to now fights were moderately similar. We're like around the same spectrum of fighter, just maybe different ideas, like, so I'm learning, like him and Austin Ford and Jason High, like, they give me the yang to my yin of my style of the same style of fighter,
The Shaolin Wu-Tang style.
Yeah. do that. Let me see. They do the this to this. They give me the top to the bottom.
Yeah. I got you. And I saw you fight in you fought a lot in Louisiana, Bossier City and New Orleans and stuff. But I mean, people think New Orleans is like everything Louisiana, but around where you are is Lafayette, Louisiana, and Shreveport, and probably Shreveport's closer to you, right? Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah. Shreveport's my shit. Shreveport's where the homies are at. Like, it's funny. Like, whenever people think about where I used to be at, they'd be like,
and the casinos.
Yeah. Damn, I love gambling, but you can't be gambling when you ain't got big name money just yet. Now, whenever I get that big name money, I'm gonna be putting my bets down.
You want that bonus, man.
Yeah, but getting that bonus, getting my bets in, putting some parlays down. But yeah, whenever people think about where I was at and where 515 is at, people be thinking like, oh, you're close to Dallas, and it's like, yes, we are close to Dallas, but if you want a real like where we're at in relation to big things, we're closer to Shreveport than we are to Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Dallas is what, 4 hours from you? Or
no, yeah, 3 or 4 hours from where we were at. Dallas was like 3 hours, 4 hours around that time. But Shreveport's 45 minutes. Like where I was living at in Marshall, Shreveport is 45 minutes away, bro. Like, I hop the border all the time, once a week. You should have seen me during COVID. I was doing that shit. I was hopping the border like a guy. I was hopping the border like some racist shit that you can put together in your brain that I'm not gonna say, obviously.
My boy's from West Monroe, so I know the times of where everything is in Louisiana. I'm like, oh, it takes 2 or 3 hours to get to Alexandria, Louisiana. It takes 4 hours to get to New Orleans or Baton Rouge. That's
I think that's the South in general. We do the same shit in Texas. Like, yeah, we 3 hours away. Well, how many miles is that? I told you the time. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know the miles, bro.
But goddamn, you guys got the best food. I would be morbidly obese if I was eating that food you guys got down south. It is so friggin' good.
Hey, man, trust me.
I don't know what you guys do. It's amazing. Like, everybody in the South makes good food, and your crawfish boils.
You know, the funny thing is, I'm not a huge fan of crawfish. I'll eat it like recreationally. Where
Yeah.
Like if we're at a crawfish boil and like people are like that's like why we're here, I will absolutely partake. But if we're like where I'm at right now, like I will not be partaking in crawfish post fight, post weigh in.
Yeah. It's an
That's
acquired taste.
I think it's
I
good.
don't like
I just
it
don't. Hey.
I don't like it either. But people be spending like $200 on these tiny little things, you know?
Yeah, little prawns.
But for you right now with 122 coming up against Arthur, I mean, is it good that you're fighting locally? I mean, do you feel a lot more comfortable, or is it just like not a determining factor of how you're going to fight? Is it just you're coming in, you don't care if it's in Alaska or it's in Boston or whatever?
Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I like how do I put it? Like I'm so dialed in onto the next little thing that like where it's at almost doesn't even, it's not like it doesn't register. It does absolutely, but it's just like wait time, you know? Like everything I'm doing now is just wait time so I can get to that sauna, and like fucking after I make that weight, it's wait time so I can get on that scale, and after I do that, it's wait time so I can fucking eat, and then after that it's wait time so I can beat his ass, and then after that it's wait time so I can go to the house and play League of Legends. You know, all little shit like that. Cook me a steak, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's all like you know, I like sometimes I'm in the journey, you know, like going through day-to-day life. I look at it like a journey, you know, enjoy my life, enjoy my day. But whenever it's like little shit, whenever it's shit like fighting, I'm very much like,
You muted.
called. That's what.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's all good. Somebody called, and it's like that's all that happened. But it's little things. I enjoy my life. You know, life's good. Life's fun. I'm happy, but I'm happy. I'm just trying to get to like, you know, the next thing right now. This week, so like the last 7 days leading up to your weight cut, to your fight, like the fighting is definitely the light at the end of the tunnel, because weight cutting sucks, the diet sucks, all this shit sucks.
Yeah.
Saying interviews are fun and whatever. Sometimes I'm grumpy, you know, and be like, and then I'm just like, but I love interviews. Stop being.
I'm glad you're in a good mood, man. I enjoy talking.
Liver shot for who? Win or lose? Oh fuck! Oh damn! My boy, I just found out my boy took a L. Dakota Bush. I found out my boy Dakota Bush took a L, so I'm sad about that. Damn.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, it'd be like that, man. That's the fight game. Sometimes we win,
I know.
sometimes we lose. You know,
I know.
all we do is put our fucking best work out, you know? That's
But I appreciate what you said too, is like you don't give a shit where you fight. An octagon's a fucking octagon.
Yeah. Like
except
like,
there might be bigger crowds.
Yeah.
Like 2 million, like 80,000 people in London or something crazy. Then I'd be a little, holy shit. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy sport, and I've come to enjoy it because like I've been to the fights and I've got to interview so many people, and it's a great, you know, like you guys are nothing but class acts. Everybody in the fight game, you know. I haven't met a bad one yet, so I guess I'm on a streak there.
we go through shit, man. We go through some shit. You don't pick up MMA fighting because your life's like all fucking daisies and rainbows and your family's rich and shit like that. You know what I mean?
It's not mayonnaise. It's not mayonnaise.
Yeah, yeah. Your life has seen some fucking spice, man. Your life is like, you know what I'm saying? Something's gone down to make you humble. Something's gone down to make you, likable.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
not saying that anybody that's rich and hasn't gone through shit isn't likable. It's just being down to earth is fucking what's up.
Yeah. I'm fucking poor as shit. I got this fucking shirt at Walmart. So
hey, I love Walmart shirts.
I love Walmart too.
Yeah, shit.
That's some funny
Walmart,
shit.
send me a spot. Walmart, sponsor me. Let's go. No,
I know.
for real, Walmart. If you're watching
Walmart,
give me a sponsor. Like,
I'll hashtag the shit out of that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Give me a goddamn. Hey man, it's a tax break, some shit like that. Surely somewhere in the lines of tax break, they can figure. Y'all got money. Y'all can figure it out. Come on. Or a little Walmart. We'll do an interview with Walmart shopping bag.
And with my other thing is with boxing and MMA, the problem in some aspects of the game is different athletic commissions. Like I'm sure Missouri has a different one, in Massachusetts and California, Nevada, you name it. There's been a problem in also New York. There's been problems with judges kind of really not doing their job well and letting it go to decisions, and the decisions are just, their points are just off. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, like, so as far as judging goes, right? It's all subjective. It's a job that I know as far as judging, it's a job that's it's not easy. We all have our thing that we value more than others. Sometimes it even happens whenever you got a ref, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you got a ref that's a little bit more with like the striking, he might not give you as much time to work on the ground. If you got a judge that's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, he'll give you a little bit more time to work, even if it doesn't look like per se you're doing something. He sees what you're doing. Other people may not see what you're doing. As far as judging, man, judging is so subjective. We all know what we are looking at, and we all know, like, there's so many different influences too. Like, but I feel like judging should have been the best it's ever been when COVID hit because of the lack of crowds and shit like that, a lot of outside influence. But even with that, like, coaches figured out, like, it's just the littlest shit. Like, everything makes a clap noise when there's no crowd in there. So like a kick that just slapped with the foot, your coach, then all of a sudden, that's in the judge's mind. Like, judges, there's so much shit happening with for judges, like, that they gotta watch the fight. They gotta watch the fight. They gotta judge it. They gotta try to not be biased. There's more likely that a judge probably was just like, there's no way they didn't see any media about any fighter, leading up to it. There's probably a fighter somewhere that, like, anytime where you're just like, man, that judge, what the fuck was that judge seeing? He might have saw a lot of media of XYZ fighter that he was in favor of, and you know what I'm saying? He might have got cracked and sat down and wrote and got ride time put down on him for like 3 minutes in a 5-minute in the fight, and then or like for 3 minutes in that round, and then he just let loose a flurry and then be like, yep, that guy won it 10-9. You know what I mean? You don't never know. There's such big amount of human error and human element in that position specifically. Now, that one shit that happened with KGB, talking about, I think her fight with Lauren Murphy, talking about judges on their phone and shit like that. Now that, they can get the fuck out of here with shit like that. But
that's just,
they got to pay attention. But as far as like just the baseline of judges themselves and all that shit, if we want, say for instance, judging to improve, we need like a baseline of like what judges need to like require, should a judge require XYZ level wrestling experience that they can prove, or should they be able to prove that they're XYZ jiu-jitsu XYZ belt, you know.
That's true. That's true.
Or that
Yeah.
they fought, you know, or different things like that. Because like I don't know these judges. I don't know what they've done or haven't done. I know if you get like a boxing, if you put 3 judges on 3 different sides of the post, one's a pro boxer, one's a pro kickboxer, one's a fucking wrestler or jujitsu guy, you know, or a grappler of some sort. They're probably gonna get 3 different scores.
Yeah, there's so many different aspects. Yeah.
I'm out here rambling again. Damn.
That's okay, man. I'm rambling to you too. So my last couple questions is like, how'd you get the name Killer B?
Zeke Wilson. Zeke Wilson gave it to me because of we watched Naruto, and Naruto.
Oh
is a
boy.
great anime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anime is my shit. I love anime. You know, I haven't really got a chance to commit to any animes like I used to when I was younger. Like I haven't watched enough of the new Baki series, and I gotta really get with it on Demon Slayer. So
only one I'm into is Trigun, the old school
Trigun.
stuff.
Oh my god, I love Trigun. That's that was like something I watched when I was a kid. That era, like Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, a little bit of Inuyasha.
Those are classics. And to my producer, I did watch some anime. So all right. And so, my other thing is, what's in the future for you besides I mean, I know this is one aspect of your life, but what do you want more for the future?
For the future, man, you know, I would say what I want more for the future is probably, you know, better me and probably.
Wait, never mind.
Yeah,
I found it.
started.
I found it.
Oh no!
Found it behind you.
This is my wife's. That's mine over there. Yeah, mine's what he said. What are your goals for the future? And I'm just like, oh, yeah. No, I wrote down little short-term and long-term goals. You know, like you know, obviously short-term is winning my current fight. You know, making more knives and tools. That's something that I love to do. Working in the shop.
That's cool. I like that.
More welding time, more hood time, like, you know, working on my stick welding and TIG welding, you know, building more guns, just improving myself as a fighter. You know, like fight IQ is my, no matter what you could say about me, fight IQ is my highest and biggest attribute that I have as a fighter. You know, and, you know, it's a long-term goal, like in the next 5 years, you know, I want to buy, like, you know, the goals I got it written up there that I look at every day, you know, buy a house, be more, shout out to James Krause and also Annette for telling me to do that shit. It actually does help. Like, you write your goals down, man. Like, if you, it's one thing to say them, but like write your shit down. It does actually help. It's like instead of, it's like, you know, you wake up to an alarm or whatever and you get conditioned to the alarm, and it may like internally get you, it may internally, one day you may not even need the alarm anymore to get up at a certain amount of time. But same thing with that, you know, you may.
I like that. I'm going to use that.
Yeah,
I'm going to use that. Make goals for yourself and write them down, because I forget every fucking thing. So if I write them down, that's a good point, man. I like that.
Yeah, it helps you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if you're into that kind of thing. And it's all, if you believe in like the law of attraction and vibes and different things like that, like that, some of that, like, you know, can seem mystical, but some of it's just like, you know, if you want XYZ thing, like let's say you want firewood, you know what I'm saying? If you just be like, damn, I wish James says this is actually like not quoting exactly James, but like kind of paraphrasing what he did one time. It's like, let's say you want firewood. You know, if you're just like, man, I really wish I can get some firewood. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then just like, don't do shit about it. No, you're not gonna get no firewood. But if you like, be like, hey, Matt, do you have firewood? You know what I'm saying? You got any firewood?
Yeah, I got a cord. How much? How much do you want to pay?
Yeah, either that or like, you know, get on fucking Facebook, you know, like put your vibes out, so you put your shit out so it'll come back, if that's how you want to look at it, you know, or you can just actively work towards the shit you want, you know.
Well, that's what, and I mean, you said that earlier, you know, the branding stuff.
That's what I do for my interviews. I'll say fucking 900 times that I talked to Brent Moore Jr. and he's gonna be on the show next fucking Tuesday. I'll just spread the shit out of it. And then when I see you go places, I'm like, I talked to that dude and he's a tough motherfucker. Like, you know. So and he's a gamer and he's a fucking welder, like, you know, shit that people don't know. So my final two questions, because I'm rambling like a motherfucker. So this question might piss you off. And that question is, what is your victory meal after a fight?
My victory meal after my fight. It would definitely be my wife's, but no, I'm playing. I'm looking at her like, yeah, no, she didn't like that. I'm joking,
yeah, you best say it now. You gotta continue what you said, or you're gonna be in trouble, man.
No, man, she's laughing over there. She's so modest that I'm just messing with her. But like what I usually like to do post fight, man, I like to try to get to the house and cook a goddamn meat steak with some type of potatoes. You know what I'm saying? It could be I get a cheese grater. I can fucking cook. Let me tell you. But it could be I get a cheese grater, get the potatoes, put some chili on, get some chili, cheese, put that on it. Or it could be I make some unhealthy heart attack bullshit. Or, you know, I'm sick as fuck and from fighting and I need to like calm down, you know, I need to take a minute. But most likely I'm gonna probably cook a steak of some sort. Ribeye is my shit. I love ribeye. Yeah, that's ribeye, or make a brisket. Ribeye, try to make a brisket. Probably nosh on a little cheesecake. Definitely something with potatoes in it because I love potatoes. You know, for some reason.
Actually, another thing is now I know you're not a Louisiana guy, but I know I've heard this is a South thing. Do you use Tony's?
No, so like I do with certain things, you know what I'm saying, but it's definitely not a part of the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity.
Because people say it's fucking pepper down there.
Yeah, it's all right, but like the Holy Trinity, tahini, some fucking garlic salt, and you know what I'm saying, maybe some like it's a spice that I get from some form of lemon or lime, you know, but the Holy Trinity is garlic salt, tahini, and some sort of lemon lime thing, you know, some sort of lemon or lime, like lemon pepper, you know. Those are your Holy Trinity. That's what you need, you know.
All right, I look forward to have somebody cook it for me.
Wow.
So Brant Killer B Moore Jr. So where can everybody follow your stuff?
Make it follow stuff on
and names and stuff like that.
So Brant Moore Jr. is my regular Facebook. I'm almost capped out on the friends and all that stuff, you know. So I don't know if I can even accept anything on there. But I got a fight page that's, you know, Brant Moore Jr. Brant Moore Jr. And that's the fight page on Facebook. _ Brant Jr. Lowercase BRANTJUNIOR. That's my IG. And I just made a Twitter yesterday. I may or may not be. I gotta look the shit up. Killer BMO. So all one word, Killer B, and then MO, capital MO. Let me see.
Okay.
I'm back on. Was I on the whole time?
No.
No. I had to check it.
You were the ninja right there. But yeah. So thanks, Brant, for coming on the show. The Killer B is about to sting motherfuckers out right now. Make people hurt. So Arthur, I don't know much about you, Arthur, but I don't know. It's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very good fight. I'm excited to fight that fool. He's a beast. So we'll get to see what each other are made of.
So everybody, LFA, January 21st, 2021, and it's gonna be sick. LFA 122, and you be on UFC Fight Pass, right? That's what it'll be on.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right.
UFC Fight Pass. Also, if you're in the St. Louis area, you can go to LFA Tix. Type in LFATix.com. Type in my name. It'll help me. And you can get your tickets to see it live if you want.
Sweet. Well, Brant, thank you for coming on the show, man, and definitely want you again soon. And I appreciate you looking out for me because my kid was running crazy. Shout out to my daughter for doing that.
Shout out to her, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Being a kid, that's what's up. Shout out to you being a good dad, goddamn.
Appreciate that, man. I'm sure you are to your kids too. So, but yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching Matty C's Sports for You and Me. Make sure to follow Matty Cameron on Twitter at MattCameron23 or follow him on Instagram at MattyC23 or subscribe to his YouTube channel, Matty C's Sports for You and Me. Once again, thanks for watching.